Hello everybody, this is Kevin speaking. Now we will learn the customized part of the CAXA, and this is the most important part of this software. And from here we just click from here. This is the customized part. Now from here the first option is for the catalog, which means what kind of product we can design with this software. Right now we already can design the wardrobe with this software, and in the future for some other product like the vanity and interior door, we can also design with software, but right now only the wardrobe is working. And the second one is for the brand. Now we only have one brand, which means open. The next one is for channel. For the open overseas market, we have two channels, which is overseas project and overseas retail. The first one is for retail channel, and the second one is for the project channel. For our overseas dealers, we just use the retail channel VBK. Okay, this is very important, because if you choose the wrong channel in the future, maybe we cannot place the order or cannot export the quotations. So here we should choose open overseas retail channels, then confirm. Okay, now we can see this is all the models, all the standard models of the wardrobe parts. And now today we will learn it one by one for all these models. First, we just choose the base cabinet, the first one, and here we have three series: the base lower cabinet and base cabinet and some other shoe cabinet. Now we just learn the first one, which means the basic lower cabinet. From here we can see there's many models from here. So if you need these models, just left click and then drag inside to the room space VBK. Drag inside. This is the first one, and then this is the second one. Just drag inside. Okay, and then we just double click, and in the right side you can see these informations of this cabinet, and this is the width, the size, the total size of this cabinet. And from here we can see, after we double click to select this cabinet, and then we can see there is the reed frame, right? This reed frame. So that means this size is the reed frame size. So the height is 1 meter. It's not including this top panel. It's not including this top countertop. Okay, if you double click this cabinet, okay, then this reed frame means the whole height, the total height of this cabinet. That means 1800 mm is including the total height of this cabinet. And now we can see the difference between these two cabinets is the first one is the top panel cover these two side panels. The second option is the side panels cover the top panel and the bottom panel. So that means the structure of these two cabinets is different. Okay, next we will find the next one here, the lower cabinet, and then another one. And from here we can see the difference between these two cabinets and these two cabinets is the columns is different. For these two cabinets, it's only one columns, but for these two cabinets, it can be two columns. And the first one is the top panel cover the side panels, and the second one is the side panel cover the top and the bottom panel. So this is different. So these two cabinets, these two models is two columns. And also, if we want to change the position of these mid side panels, then we just double click this cabinet, and from here we can divide cabinet division, left click, and from here we can just input the size. For example, the left one we just choose to be 300, then end. Then the size will change it automatically. Okay, next we go to for some other cabinet. This one is also one columns, but for this cabinet the structure is, if we compare these two cabinets, you can say for this cabinet is the side panel cover the top panel, the right panel cover top panel, but the top panel will cover the left side panel. For the first one is the top panel cover these two side panel. So this is the only one difference. The small difference. The structure is different. Next, the next one, we can see this cavity is the left side panel cover top panel and bottom panel. Okay. So now we can make a summary for all this series. For all this series, the difference is the first one. The difference is the structure is different. Some cabinet is the top panel covers side panel. Some cabinet is the side panel covers top panel. This is the first difference. The second difference is the columns is different. For some cabinet, it's only one columns, and for some cabinet can be 2 columns or 3 columns, or some other columns. For example, this one. This is the 4 columns. 4 columns. Okay. The last one we can see, this is the water cabinet. Water cabinet. We just drag inside. And from here, we can compare the colors of this water cabinet to some other cabinet. This is the normal cabinet. This is the water cabinet. For the water cabinet, the color is transparent color. Transparent color. So that means for all the water cabinet, actually the factory will not produce. It's only for reference, for a designer reference. According this water cabinet to add some other panels, like add some shelf, add some door panels. For example, we added the shelf. For example, we added the shelf inside, then the factory will only produce this shelf and it will not produce the outside cabinet. Okay, this is the water cabinet, and it is very useful for us, and in the future we will have very detailed instruction for all the water cabinet and all the water shelf. Now we just need to know the difference between this cabinet. Under the same series, the difference between this cabinet is first, the structure is different. Second, the columns is different. Okay, next we will learn how can we select the cabinet. If you just double click from here, double click, then we will select this cabinet. But sometimes if you want to select more than one cabinet, then we just press Control, and for this mouse, from the right to left, then we can see there is the dash frame, right? This dash frame. As long as this dash frame contact this cabinet, then we will select this cabinet. Okay, press Shift and from the right to left, then we can see there is a dash frame, the dash line frame. As long as this dash line frame contact this cabinet, then we will select this cabinet. But sometimes if we press Control and from the left to the right, now we can see there is a solid line frame. The solid line frame. If this solid line frame contact this cabinet, then we cannot select this cabinet. So that means for this solid line frame must cover the whole cabinet. Then we can select it. Otherwise, we cannot select it. Okay, next we learn the detailed operations of these models. For example, for this cabinet, we just double click, and from the right side, this is the property by. From this property by, this all the informations of this cabinet, and this is the wings, the total wings, total depth, and the total height. And this gray colors means the size cannot change. Only this black colors means we can change the colors. For example, the wings we make to be 1.5 meter. 1.5 meter. Okay, now we can see once we change the wings to be 1.5 meter, and from this side we can see there is a red cross. This red cross is come out. This red cross, we call this is craft error remanded. Means this is mistake. This is the error the factory cannot produce. And this is the most important part of this software, because during our designing the program, we are checking our design, if this design can be produced or not. Once this read clause is come out, means this is error and the factory cannot produce. So that means we must save this error before we move on. We must save this error before we move on. So here we just click this error, click this read clause, and then he will position it where is this error come from. And from here we can see the back panel. The error is from the back panel, and the wrong description is the back panel. The graph is cannot match. So that means we need to change for this back panel. We need change the texture, because for this material the stand texture is vertical. But if we change the size, the wings is big than height, then we must change the texture. So we click the back panels, and from here, this is the texture direction, from the vertical to the cross to be horizontal. Then after we change the texture, then this error is gone. That means this is available for production. And also sometimes if we change the height to be, for example, to be 1.5 meter, 1.5 meter. So after we change the size, we can see this read clause is come out again. Okay, so we just click, then he will position it where is this error come from. So this error is from the back panel. Here we already changed the back panel. We already changed the texture of the back panel. So why still this error is come out again? This is because the size. For the size of this back panel, the factory cannot produce. From here you can see for this back panel, the wings is over around 1.4 meter, the height is around 1.4 meter. As we know, for all the panels, the raw material, the size is 2.4 by 1.2 meter. It's 2.4 meter by 1.2 meter. So that is to say, for one panel, the wings and the height only can be one size over the 1.2 meter. Cannot the wings and height over the 1.2 meter at the same time. The factory cannot produce this size. So that's why this clause is come out. So in this case, we need to delete this back panel, or we need to change the size of the back panel. For example, we change the size to be 1.2 meter, the height, then the clause is gone. Means this is available for production. So now I want to emphasize again is for this read clause is very important. It's very important. During our designing, if this read clause is come out, please stop your designing, stop your design and solve this error before you move on. So we change it back to 1.2 meter. Okay, next we continue. This is the total size of this cabinet. Next, this is the kickboard informations, the kickboard height. From here, they have some stand height can be 40, 60, 50, 60, and sometimes it's without keyboard. And we also can customize the size. For example, if we want to make the height of keyboard to be 65 mm, they just input 65 will be okay. So that means the keyboard height can be customized. Next is for the keyboard options, the keyboard structure. Here we have several options. The default keyboard is the front and back side. Both we have keyboard. For example, we hide this panel. From here we can see we have the back and the front keyboard, two piece. The second option is for the only the front keyboard without back one, and this next one is only the back keyboard without front keyboard, and the last one is without the keyboard. So usually we choose the first one, the default keyboard is enough. Okay, then we display zoom out. Okay, this is all the information of this cabinet, and we can just right click, and from here, this is the material. We can change the material of this cabinet. Okay, select. So here we can see this resource library. This all the CAXA material library is come out. So this means all the available CAXA material is from here. So we just check one by one. The first one is for the maname CAXA. The first one is wood grain, means the base material is particle wood. The base material is particle wood, and the finished material is maname. The maname can be the light colors, the gray colors, the dark colors, and some other natural colors. Okay, we just choose from here. Suppose we choose the gray colors, then okay. Then the color is changed. So why the top panel, the top countertop is not changed? This is because once we double click, we only select the cabinet. It's only this reed frame part. It's not including the countertop. So that's why the countertop color is not changed. So now we go back again to change the material. The next one is for some pure colors. The base material is particle wood. The finished material is maname. But this maname is pure colors without any texture. Okay, the next option is for the composite plywood with the maname. That means the inside material is plywood, outside is maname. Only 5 options. That means in the future, if the CAXA material, the base material we want change to be plywood, so the finished material is only 5 options is available. Next one is a 2.8 decorative CAXA. This is for some special CAXA. The maximum height can be 2.8 meter. Because for the normal color, for normal panels, the maximum height is only 2.4 meter, but for this one can be 2.8 meter. But the thickness must be 25 mm. Okay, this is for the normal CAXA. The finished material is maname. Next is for lacquer. Sometimes some customer want the CAXA material to be the lacquer. So for the lacquer, we can choose from here. All the CAXA, the lacquer should be the both side high grade lacquer and both side matte lacquer. Okay. The next option is for wood veneer. The wood veneer, the base material can be plywood. The finished material can be wood veneer. This color, this material is matched with some solid wood wardrobes. And also we can change the base material from plywood to MDF. Base material MDF and finished material is also wood veneer. This is another option. Next is for the maname is another maname. For this is a special maname because the base material is a special base material. We call it is a special kind of special MDF. And for this material, the formaldehyde height release is almost 0. The formaldehyde height release is almost 0. So that means compare the normal maname for this material, the price will be a little bit high because the base material is different. Okay, the last option is for some special material for some usually it's for some for the project. It's not for retail. Okay, for the CAXA material, here I want to emphasize is for all the CAXA material, please just select from here by manually. Do not use this search function. For example, if we use this search function, we just input the code PWMA001. This is the one code of the CAXA material, and then end to search. And from here we can see these two options. This is because the same code means the finished material, the color is the same. But for the base material, it's different. Maybe for the first one, the base material is particle wood, and the second one, the base material is for some special base material or plywood. So from here we don't know what is the base material. So here we cannot use the search. We must use the manually to find out the material one by one. Okay. The next part is for the panel options, panel operations. For example, we select this cabinet, and once we select select these panels, and here is information of these panels. Also, the thickness can change the 3 options, and then this for extension, this for extension back. For example, the extension back to be 100. Now we can see this panel is extend in the back side 100 mm. And also here I want to emphasize is for this extension size, for this value can be the negative, For example, its value, you just input minus 100, then this panel will go front 100 mm. Okay. The similar with the extension front can be extension front. Suppose this one 100 mm. Let's go outside 100. If we input minus 50, then we'll go inside 50 mm. So that means all the panels, we can change the thickness, and also we can change the extension informations, extension front and back, and also sometimes can extension left, right, and up and down. And sometimes if our designer select these panels, and if you want delete the panels, then you just press delete, and then you can find we cannot delete these panels. This means for this cabinet, that is to say, for this cabinet we cannot delete the left panel, also cannot delete the right panel, the top panel, countertop cannot delete, the bottom panel cannot delete, and also the keyboard here cannot delete. Okay, that means if we want to design some cabinet which is without left panel or right panel, then that means we cannot select these models. We should select some other models which is without the left panel or right panels. Okay. But for this cabinet, the back panels, usually the back panels can be deleted. If we delete back panels, just select back panel and then delete, then will be delete. And also we can add the back panels. Just add functional component. Shortcut key is K, and from here we can add the back panel again. Okay. Next, if we select the countertop, this panel we call it countertop. Usually we do not call it top panel, we call it countertop. If we select this countertop, then we can see this is the thickness. Okay, 80, 25, 36, and some other options. And also can extend left, right, front, and back. Okay, for example, we extend left 100 mm, 100 millimeter. Okay, and here this is a computer Y cover. We can select Nancy or can select yes. If we select yes, now we can see this is the computer Y cover from here. And we also can change the position. These are the positions of these Y covers. For example, 400. Then the position will be changed. Here is 100, like this. The position can be changed. And also this is the style, the shape of this countertop. Here is without style. Here is left and front. Left and front is fillet. Here, right? Left and the front is fillet. And here we can change the radius from some standard radius like 100. Then this radius is changed. So that means from here we can change the style, style of these 4 edges. This is some other options. And also because this is the countertop, so we also can select the countertop and then right click to change some other countertop style. For example, the first one can be solid wood countertop, solid countertop, and also can be lacquer countertop, and also can be PVC and some other flat countertop. Suppose here we choose the PVC countertop. This is all the PVC countertop style. We choose this one. Then okay. Now we can see the shape, the style is changed, right? It's changed, and we also can change the size, extension, left, right, front, and back. Left 100 like this. Okay, and here is for the computer wire cover, and this is for the countertop style, countertop special style. Okay, like the fillet or rounded shape. Because this countertop with the some special edge, so it's similar with the kitchen. We should select the visible side. We should select the visible side. For example, this one, this is 4 side is visible. 4 side is visible. So we can see 4 side with the door with the special shape. If we change this visible informations, for example, we choose the left front, which means all the left and the front is visible. That means all the left and the front with this edge style. Then select. So we can see the left and the front with the special shape with the edge style, and for the right and the back it's just flat, because this right and back is not visible, it's invisible. That's why the shape is straight. Okay, this is for the countertop. Okay, we can replace the countertop to change the style, and also can change the materials for the countertop. And also for the side panels, we also can use the replace function. Just try right click, replace. Here this is the normal side panels. This is the normal side panels, and this one is side panels with K04 informations. K04. Okay. Now we can see this U shape. This U shape for the K04 positions, and we select these panels, and from here we can change the K04 informations, change the quantity and the positions. For example, this is 2 K04 and this is the positions. Okay, about the K04 operations, in the future we have a very detailed introduction. Here we just need to know, from here we can just replace the side panels, to change the structure to be K04, and then replace again. This for the K04, and the next one is the side panels with factor. Then okay. Now we can see this is side panels. And in the right side there's another factor. Stick in this side panels. Because this factor, so we can design any door style with K. So just right click to replace. This is all the available door styles. For example, we choose the PVC door styles. We choose this one. Then okay. So now this door style is changed. Okay, and we select the door panels, and from the right side the door property by or code change this cover position, the cover size. For example, the left cover we change it to be 50 mm. Then this door panel can extend in front. So this is the factor operations. Okay, if you want to delete this factor, usually we do not suggest our designers just left click to select and then delete, because if you use this way, here we can see there's still a frame in these side panels. So the right procedure is we select this back panel, we select these side panels, and then right click, then replace these side panels to be the normal side panels. Now this factor is deleted. Then again, and then replace. These are the first options. The second option means double 80. Double 80 means there's two 80 mm sub panels, and in the front is the decorative fillers. We try this part, then okay, and we hide the countertop. And from the top view we can see there's two 80 mm sub panels. That's why we call it double 80. And the front, this is decorative fillers. For these decorative fillers, we also can replace to some other style, like the melamine. For the melamine is flat. For solid wood, can design some style, lacquer, PVC, and PP. And for some other options, for example, we design the PVC, and from here, okay. Now we can see this decorative filler, the style is changed. And also if we want to change the materials, it's also easy. Right click from here, material, here we can change the materials for these decorative fillers. Okay, again, replace. This for double 80. The next one for some decorative panels, like the solid wood and the lacquer, PVC. For these options, for the retail channel, we cannot use, so we can ignore this part. Just to learn the left side panels, the normal side panels with K04 and with the factor, and this one is for double 80. Okay, right now we already finished the introduction of the basic lower cabinet. Next we will learn the other part, means basic cabinet. Actually, this translation is not very accurate. Should translation basic up cabinet. If we need this cabinet, then we just drag inside to this room with the key, drag inside. Now we can see after we drag inside, it's not working, right? It's not go inside. This is because for this basic up cabinet, this kind of cabinet cannot exist independent. He must contact with some other cabinet or contact with some other cabinet. For example, if we already have the cabinet on the bottom, right? He already has the independent cabinet, and here we can add the basic up cabinet. Just drag inside. Then we can see this cabinet can come inside. This is because for this basic up cabinet cannot exist independent, must contact with some other cabinet or some other panels. So that means for these sub panels and the countertop, the factory will produce the connected home, and then in the job site we just use the connect bond to connect this sub panel and this countertop with the key. Okay, this is for the base up cabinet. And then the difference between this cabinet, as we already know, the difference is maybe the structure is different. For some cabinet, is the sub panel cover the top panel, and for some cabinet, is the top panel cover the side panels. And for some cabinet, it's only one column, and for some cabinet, it's more than one column, like 2 or 3 columns. This is the difference. Okay, so for this base up cabinet, the most important is we must know for this cabinet cannot exist independent, must contact with some other cabinet or some other panels. So that's why if we just drag this cabinet inside, it is not working. Next we will learn the screw cabinet. These are all the options of some standard common used screw cabinet models. As we already know, the difference is just the structure is different and also the colors is different. Okay, if we select this one, just drag it inside. Because from our experience, for the screw cabinet, it's usually without the bottom panel. So we already have this type of cabinet which is without the bottom panels. And here, this models is already with the bottom panels, but the keyboard is only the front keyboard. It's only the back keyboard. In the front, this without keyboard. Actually, for this kind of models, we also can design from the basic lower cabinet. For example, we add this cabinet, and then we just change the height of the keyboard. For example, cut the keyboard to be 70 mm, and the type of keyboard is only the back keyboard without a front keyboard. So these two models actually is the same. So this for the shoe cabinet. Next we try this one, drag inside, and for this cabinet, for the the side panels is already with some the rounded shape in this corner space. If you want, we also can change this style of the side panels. Just connect the side panels, and from here, this for the some thickness extension. This is similar with some other side panels, and from here is the rounded shape. Here is the radius, can be 50, 100, or 150. Suppose we choose 100, then the radius is changed. And if you want to make this shape to be the square shape without the style, then we just change the type is without style will be key. Then will be changed to be square. For inside, if you want to add some shelf, add some drawer, this is similar. This is the same with the normal cabinet. Just double click and then add functional component, and then we can add some all the panels and some function accessories, hanging rod. All the function accessories and panels is available for this cabinet. This is similar with the normal cabinet. So now we already finished the introduction of this shoe cabinet, and the first base cabinet models we already finished. Okay, so much for this part. Thank you.